Do not adjust your set. Oop.
I was actually looking forward to fighting or conversing with Medusa because I did get those enchanted spectacles.
You make your way back to Boars Wood and come in through the usual door, as expected, to where the inn is not far off and the Beet Knight's essentially around the corner. Here you are, Elrik.
Yay!
You know the Beet Knight's garden to be up to the far north, and that's,
Yeah.
as far as you know, to be expected.
Well, that's where I would like to head so I can converse with him about the new hatchling.
Stop right about... Oh, geez, you cannot ping on a white. I cannot see. Let's go
Need to change
back
your color.
here.
There we go.
Stop about right there.
There. And I'll change my color so it's less like yours.
You can see the Beet Knight's garden is thriving quite a bit already from your distance. You can see quite the array of sprouts and colors. He's got another tent or two set up. You see your, well, I wouldn't quite say friend, your associate, Mitigus, the assassin with the flail, is leaning up against this tent by the garden. You have essentially done business with her, as she now runs essentially a vault system, or a secure vaulting system of sorts within Boars Woods for everyone who's getting all this loot and money, which you have a vault with a lot of your items squared away. She turns her head towards you and gives you a nod. She sees you, acknowledges you.
I wave my hand as an acknowledgement.
Alright, feel free to move about.
Alright, I will first approach her
Mm-hmm.
and how are things here?
Fine. She says in a very shortcut tone. You never labeled her as one to talk much. Um, she seems her usual little sulky self, but she's
Yeah.
never been one to really converse.
Yeah, that's fine.
She kind of nods you over towards the direction of the garden.
I just nod and start heading to the garden.
You obviously see this farmer man who is doing his best to attend the garden, which would be the farmer man that you thought you had formerly met. He is doing his best to till the garden with just like the stick of a broom handle, just a common stick. There's another tent set up on the far side, but the garden is quite thriving with numerous vegetables, sprouts, and one. I'm trying to ping this one in particular, a very large sprout, which looks to be of some sort of vegetable.
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say it's a beet.
From your positioning here, that would be a very good assumption. The farmer man at the back will actively see you and walk over to meet you. He will set the stick down and brush his hands aside and go to formally introduce himself, as you've seen him like twice now. Uh, he gives you good hail and announces himself as Arnett.
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 Okay.
He'll extend a hand to give
It's
you
nice
a
to meet you.
handshake.
I shake his hand. Because pleasantries.
Do you tell your name as well?
Yes, it's Elrik.
He says he's a little bit of a fan of adventure people. He asks how things are going, just trying to dwell up some idle conversation, but you can tell he's not actively that interested, but he's being polite.
It's going alright. And I just... Oh man, conversation.
Yeah, meeting that new friend kind of deal. Um, you notice he's using just a stick, not a rake, not the
I,
proper tool attires to be attending the garden as he was prior.
what happened to your rake?
He'll tilt the stick up and notice it's legitimately a broken handle of something. He says, I don't know. My rake went missing this morning. So I gotta get a new one. I think someone stole it, says, somewhat jokingly as he kind of gives a laugh to himself.
Yeah, that's a territorial hazard here.
He'll kind of tromp back through the garden a bit, going back to till up the rows, um, and kind of just go back to his work.
All right. Do I see the Beet Knight around?
You do not visibly see the Beet Knight around.
Okay, I'm going to try and go to the bar.
Um, you take about 3 or 4 steps and catch a glimpse at Mitigus, and she kind of gives you somewhat of a troubled look and kind of nods you back towards the garden.
I
Like,
look at the garden.
uh, Arnett will actually look up from his work and actually catch eyes with you, like, something up?
Um, have you seen the Beet Knight around?
Kind of stops, just stands downright. Like, just that stance pose of stop everything you're doing. Um, he looks at you, looks at the giant plant, looks back at you, goes back to work.
Roll perception. 15.
That giant plant is sure enough a gigantic beet. The sprout of a gigantic beet. With a 15, Elrik, would you like to step a few steps closer?
Yes,
I'll put you right here, unless you want to move elsewhere.
that's fine.
This beet does not look normal. It's not vegetably, it's feathery.
Beet Knight, that's a clever disguise.
A muffled sound is heard as a purple gauntlet erupts from the soil and begins to kind of grasp about for something over near this bucket of water.
I pick up the bucket of water and put it towards the gauntlet.
He feels around and grabs it and actively dumps it on himself, watering himself. The hand sinks back underground.
Why do I make the weirdest friends? I want to try and pluck the Beet Knight.
Okay, roll strength.
Come on, that's a 2. No.
You
That would
give
have been
a
funny, come on.
you give a tug on his helmet. Is all you could hear. Essentially erupting from the ground, like the undead, priorly seen, is the Beet Knight, now freshly soiled.
I have my hand up to my face. I couldn't hear you before, you were muffled. What did you say? That's what I thought you said.
He will actively tip over like he's giving a bow, with a good splosh of water and wet soil comes dumping out of his helmet through the slats.
Oh boy.
Good to see you again, friend.
Nice to see you too. We have a new friend.
Ooh, do we now?
We do. We do. I gesture to my papoose.
Ooh, quite intriguing, my boy. Um,
Yes.
you hear the. You've got your back turned to the Beet Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the sound of something rapping on metal, like the sound of a nail tapping on a piece of metal.
Is that coming from my pouch?
You suspect something's tapping on the Beet Knight. You want to just kind of crane your head over and gauge?
Yeah.
This little snoot has emerged from your backpack and is kind of trying to nibble on the Beet Knight's finger.
It's like, hey, he's okay. You don't need to try and eat him.
I don't think I taste very good anyways, Beet Knight will say. Have you named it yet? He'll say, quite expectantly.
To be perfectly honest, not quite.
Fair
I'm not
enough,
quite.
not everything can be named overnight. Names are important, he says.
Names literally define you for the rest of your life.
Ah,
I
yes,
stare
the
up.
Beet Knight
I
will
stare
say.
up into space on that one.
The Beet Knight will rough through one of his little bags and pull out the book that was the intrigue of before. I assume you're here for business, he says, going through his little book.
Absolutely.
Now then, he says as he flips through this uh, little book of pamphlet he's got, he'll pull out a pair of reading glasses and stick them up to his helmet, which lazily falls off, has nothing to hold on to, and just clatters around his feet. As he continues searching through this book and gets to the passage that was interest,
Okay.
and tells you he's read a little bit more and recaps everything of a date upcoming in, say, about a week at this point from today, and kind of recaps about the legend he's told you about, that this paragraph tells about a uh, long ancient tale of 12 kings, of something happening of ancient times, of a mysterious place that is being plagued by deforestation, and a uh, structure of hallways as bright as the heavens, filled with flameless candles and lights beyond comprehension, a realm of men who are neither alive nor dead, and stories of stars from the heavens being unearthed from beneath our feet. As well as, he adds, a new segment he kind of investigated a little bit more, a small little snippet that was overlooked by both of you about an out-of-place doorway and a child in danger. But that is all he's able to get from this prophecy book.
Hmm. That is concerning, that last bit.
You do know the exact location and the whereabouts of this dated occurrence, and the Beet Knight has already gotten you a ride on one of the local little uh, convoy ships here from Boars Woods. It's actually actively across the North Ocean to us here, to this kind of peninsula-like area known as Lost City. The Beet Knight says that he's scheduled this essentially to have you arrive about a day and a half prior to the actual date, so you could get there before whatever happens.
Lovely. Let's make history.
Um, the Beet Knight will actively give you quite a good supply of about, let's say, 6 full tea sprouts, not the little ones you got. So you have 6 full, ready-to-go tea sprouts. The Beet Knight will run over to his tent and rummage through his things. Run over, throw a few things into this a chest here, and pick up the chest and hurriedly run it back over to you. He tells you he's packed you some supplies, and this was for you, as he will hand you kind of a fairly medium-sized wooden chest.
Well, thank you very much. I want to roll perception on it.
Go ahead.
With a 15.
Heed me!
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't trust chests after that last one.
A pair of squiggly magical aura eyes appear from the chest as you are holding it and peer right at you.
Hello, Crate Phantom.
Heed me! We're going on an adventure! The Beet Knight announces that he wanted to come too.
Sure.
The Beet Knight will kind of saddle up next to you and kind of whisper in your ear, "Don't underestimate him, lad. He's quite good in a fight."
I just look at the Beet Knight and say, trust me, after Amadeus, I don't judge books by covers.
But don't let your guard down. He's a bit clumsy.
I nod. And then I also chirp chime in that
The pet will chirp.
speaking of Amadeus, I had a run-in just outside Boars Wood.
"Oh, crab pate," he says.
Yes, well, he's he's not a stiff anymore. That's for certain.
Oh.
I go through everything that occurred and relate it to the Beet Knight.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes.
Well, we'll find him one way or another if he becomes a problem, I'm sure.
Well, I did tell him that he's free to live his life how he pleases. I just hope he chooses to do the right things instead of the wrong ones.
Well, I guess that's a start.
Yes. I still want to be his friend, but... because he's still a creature of the world.
The Beet Knight will give a good, solid nod and in a full agreement.
I like creatures, I hate people. I just kind of scratch my chin and say that, and I was like, that's a big character flaw of mine, isn't it?
At this point, Elrik, you are free to do anything else you would like to do before you set out on this little ship.
I would like to try and go back to the house and set up a small nest-like thing for the pet.
The house?
Yes, my house.
You don't have a house.
I've got that place I was staying in, just down here.
You essentially had a friend hold on to some items for you. You weren't really staying anywhere.
Oh, right.
And that was transferred with Mitigus once you got the vault system set up.
Right. I will eventually need to set up a base of operations.
You just kind of glance at Mitigus, thinking about the vault for a good second. She just glares at you and shakes her head like, don't even think about it.
I raise both my hands like, okay. Okay.
Anything else? Any supplies? You're all stocked up. You're all healed, rested up.
I want to see if I can get some. Does Boars Wood have a spellsmith or a library with spell books? Because I need to try and pick up at least a light healing spell book to read on the way.
Not like a full library. It's more like a settlement of traders and traders. There would be quite a few marketplaces. You'd be able to little booths and setups. You'd be able to easily get a few of these items. You do so at the very inexpensive sense that you struck it rich in the last auction.
Yeah.
You can get whatever you'd like.
I want to try and just find a basic healing spellbook because I can't rely on items forever.
True.
Plants run out eventually.
The Beet Knight will kind of give you the heads up that your little tea sprouts, the small ones, give you about 5 to 10 health back per, and of course, like detox. But the full sprouts are like 3 solid bites apiece, and they can do upwards to 60 and more.
Okay. Still, I need to. You can't.
Oh yeah, you stock up on how many you want health potions?
Just like 5 health potions, and I really still need to try and find a
Okay.
spell book in case of emergency. I mean, if my hands are bound, I need something. I can't
You
eat
you get a
without
basic
hands.
learner's spell book.
Yeah.
The Beat Knight will point out a few ones you'd be able to use. As with the Beat Knight
Okay.
and looking over this,
What are.
one moment. With the Beat Knight, you also spend a little bit of time trying to learn some Druid with that little prophecy book. So you're vague and can pick up a few words of Druid, as well as you also picked up a few. You started learning Dwarven since your interaction with Kyrie, and you suspected she'd probably be trying to steal from you. So you're not fluent, but you know some Dwarven now.
Okay. I'm gonna call the. Just because I can't use healing hands, I'm not looking for that. I'm gonna create a small custom healing spell,
Okay.
like healing breeze or healing wind, something like that. I'll tweak
I'll
that. I'll tweak that as I go.
allow it.
Yeah, I'll tweak that as I go. But I needed. I'm trying to be original, and it's kind of hurting my brain.
All right. Is that all you needed? What else would we
Let's
need?
see. I got a piece of paper out, and I'm trying to take inventory now. So I've got.
I'm going to go ahead and move us over to the next map. Please feel free
Yeah.
to continue.
I can write and talk it no problem. So I've got that. The inventory. I need to write that down. So I've got 4 small sprouts left.
Correct.
And how many full
6
sprouts did he give?
6 full sprouts.
6 full sprouts, which do 60 plus HP.
It really depends on how you use them. You can bite them, you can eat them full, or brew them like the Beet Knight does, and it'll kind of vary.
Right. And you said 6 to 10 or 5 to 10 for
The small ones.
the small ones. And I got like 5 health potions. See, I've got a character sheet on my phone, but a character sheet doesn't actually hold inventory on this application.
Right.